Yo, let's go.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Was that too loud for you?
All right. Yes. You're always too loud for me.
Yeah, well, welcome to episode 20. We have done it.
Yeah.
Milestone of 20
This makes us
episodes
special.
in 1 year.
We did the years.
Yeah, we did. We made it.
Just because nobody listens to it, that doesn't matter.
We've reached a percentage. What is it? The 1% club.
Yeah, top 1% of podcasts.
Mm.
Certainly not for fucking listenership, but for amount of podcasts produced, yes.
Yes.
How are you going, good sir? Have you been keeping busy since we last spoke, whenever the fuck that was?
Yeah, fairly busy. I still feel like I could do more, but that's just me being overly harsh on myself. At least that's what people tell me.
Yeah, but I think you have a problem. Yeah, I'm going to keep telling you that. Like, let's just do more work. And like, hold the fuck up. Let's briefly consider work-life balance.
Yes. I've been doing more
Poison to
reading.
your
I don't know
ears.
if I mentioned that last time. I think I did. Maybe.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I've been doing a bit more reading.
If I wasn't doing a bunch of reading myself, I would call that gay as fuck. But no, books are the best.
Nah, there's nothing wrong with reading. Good shit.
What are you reading?
Reading another Star Wars book. I finished reading Thrawn, Treason, with the last in the
Oh
the
yeah,
new,
you did say.
the new trilogy. Timothy Zahn's written a few trilogies now for Thrawn. But in the new Disney one that's set in the Empire period, I finished the last one for that, and that was really good. I was surprised how good that was, actually. And yeah, I've started another Star Wars
the
book.
mouse.
Yes, the Mouse Overlord,
yeah.
who seems to be sinking into the ground
Hail mouse.
due to their poor decisions.
Yeah, well, didn't they admit that in like a not a press release, but like a release to shareholders? They were like, "Yeah, we're not doing this anymore. It's clearly not working."
Yeah, I did see that.
So
I don't know if it was it probably was to shareholders.
Capitalism always wins.
Yeah, but then you got other companies who would be like, "No, you have to keep doing it, otherwise we'll pull your funding because we have way too many stocks in you." So, who knows?
Yeah, I think Disney just gets to swing their dick around.
Yeah, possibly. They are a bigger company, but they are losing money.
Yeah, they can just money is king at the end of the day. So I imagine they'll go back to doing stuff. Didn't they just race swap the dwarves back to being ugly fucking dwarves as it was in the original tale for Snow White?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping
Haven't
up
they
with it.
completely like? I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen it myself. I could just be talking out my ass. I'm pretty sure I heard that they did like a breakneck U-turn on that after the initial backlash
Oh,
to
didn't know that.
what's her face?
Rachel Zegler.
No, like yes, everyone's favorite lady.
Yes.
She's really not.
She's really
anyway.
pissing people off, kind of like what Brie Larson was doing when Captain Marvel was around. It's real good, isn't it? Really helping sell the
good.
film. Great work. All around.
Hell yeah. No, I've been rereading Game of Thrones, which is just, fuck, you can just pick that book up, read 4 chapters, and it's an hour later. It's so thick, and then not actually progress through the book. So fucking thick.
Wait, only 3 pages? What the fuck? Yeah. Nice.
The whole thing's 870 odd pages. This is the second book, by the way. 870 odd pages, so you can read for an hour, and you're like, did the bookmark even fucking move?
Yeah, that's a decent sized book. Damn.
So good though. So rich. Yeah, they're big boys.
Does each chapter cover an individual like
So why
character, or what's the deal? How does it work? Because obviously there's different people in different places and stuff.
So they do a bunch of different perspectives. So each chapter is just titled as the character that it is the POV of. So you really get to, in a way that the series is good. I haven't watched it in fucking forever. Not after what it did at the end there. It's really good, but you just don't get to see the texture of the inside of each character's mind.
Yes, I get you.
The book does, constantly switching, which is really, really, really good. I very much enjoy it.
Awesome.
I actually want to anywhere I am, I'd rather be reading that book, which is a problem because I have non-fiction books I need to be reading too, and instruments to practice, and this and that and the other.
Ah, yes. Once again, too many things on the go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
do you want to
the
do
big
more?
one is yeah. What I need to do is I need to stop chopping and changing guitar gear. That's the... Why is the fucking mosquito in here? Okay,
Shame.
so you know what's some bullshit?
What?
This time of year, each night I have to defeat one mosquito in single combat
I hate
in
that
order
shit.
to be allowed to go to bed. I hate it. It's just one. It's never two. It's never zero. There's always one mosquito exactly in my room at night.
Man.
Makes me so angry. Sorry, I was just looking at the little fucker.
You need,
What was I saying?
you need a salt
Freaking
gun, mate.
derailed it.
You were talking about how Game of Thrones is just easy to pick up and then that you're doing too much stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, I think the biggest waste of time for myself at the moment is the old Facebook Marketplace swap, trade, buy, sell bullshit with music gear.
Oh,
So I'm trying to cull some stuff down to appease, well, not appease the missus. It's definitely of my own volition.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like coming to a peak where the next, I don't really need anything more, if that makes sense. Like, I've got everything I could need for what I need to do. It'll just be when I do move down south officially, joining a band there, and then once I've joined a band, then it sort of gives me a direction as to what I need for performance. But for just like at-home practice and recording using that digital modeler, pretty much everything I could need.
Nice.
Having said that, I do have some guitar pedals in the mail. Ho, ho, ho.
Early Christmas,
because
mate, if it's early.
they are due to get here by Thursday. I did pay extra for express post. So then what I can do is I can wrap them up and say they're from Santa and put them under the tree. And then being like, oh, Santa got me exactly what I wanted. And just everyone's eyes roll back so far into their heads. No,
Why would you even wrap them
I like
up?
the idea
Just,
of doing something like
just
that.
use them. That's not even a point.
Nah.
Just put the empty
No, I've
box
got the-
there instead.
no,
That
it'll
would
be fun.
Therefore, you'd be like, oh, I've already been using it. I just wanted extra presents to unwrap.
No, I actually have one of the cardboard boxes that a guitar came in ages ago. I didn't throw that out. So I could just put a plank of wood in that, wrap that up, and then have everyone triggered, absolutely triggered that I've just bought myself a guitar and given it to myself. Then it's just a plank of wood
That'd be
with
great.
a gift card on it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That
Get
would be
someone to
good.
hand it
But
to you too.
then-
Oh, fuck yeah, I got another present. I was like, oh, just what I wanted.
say it.
And everyone was just like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely do it with the pedals, but then I'll have the pedal board with me, and I'll like I don't know if I'll test fit them, but I'll have spots for them with power cords ready to go, so I can be like, look, Santa got me what I asked for, and just bang them in and start playing straight away.
Wow.
I think that'd be funny.
What a man.
Pretty much the only reason I got them, I talked myself out of needing anything, but fuck's sake, JHS pedals out of somewhere in the US. He does a YouTube channel that I got super into. He does really good work. He makes these like handmade pedals with his own little company, and they're really good gear. And he also does reviews of lots of other people's gear and is quite honest and like honestly reviews stuff and doesn't just spruik his own gear. He's just genuinely on the internet to like be passionate about pedals and also has his own company. He's not like just out to advertise for himself. So it's grouse content, real grouse content. And then because he's not actually advertising his own stuff, he's like providing good reviews and saying when he thinks somebody else's pedal does something better than his, or like you should get this rather than mine, or you should get that. It just makes it feel so genuine and wholesome that you end up just having this insane desire to buy his shit anyway. So it works out well for him. He's a good bloke. I think his name's Josh. Yeah.
Just some random guy called Josh.
JHS pedals. Yeah, but I finally found an Australian supplier that actually has them rather than just ordering them from his shop in Kansas or wherever the fuck it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck off, Creative Cloud.
Yeah, I'm getting that shit too.
Doesn't come through.
You got an update. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh well.
I
Get memed
know.
on. Who would have thought?
There's always an update. But yes, that's all very fun and games.
Love those pedals, man.
So why won't my friends fast with me? Why are they just so repulsed by the idea of any form of
Because they're too
not just immediately gratifying
Because
themselves?
they're too slow, Matt. That's why they won't fast.
All right, I'll pay that. Yeah, lol. Oh, let me tell you, I felt really good this morning. This afternoon, I do not feel nearly as good.
Good.
Because I didn't set out with a like a concise timeline, so I don't really know when I'm going to stop. I'm fatter than I'd like to be. Story of my entire life. I'm thinking of working in some 24-hour fasts. Just for the sake, like if I do one of those a week, that saves me like a couple thousand calories. Just going like lunch at work one day to lunch at work the next day.
I thought you did a lot of exercise.
Just
How can you
holding
be
out
fat?
like that?
You ain't eating more.
Yeah,
Why? It's not even Christmas yet.
bulking up, mate. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's a problem, and I'm like, I should
But if you're bulking
probably
up, won't it
buff
be
on
fine?
myself against the. Yeah, but I also don't like being fat.
Okay.
Like you can overachieve with bulking up. Like you can get too fat.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
You will continue to put on muscle, but with excess calorie intake, there's only so much muscle you can put on per unit time, but generally you'll eat way extra over that, so you'll just get fat over the top,
That's too bad.
over a big bulk. Yeah. If I stop drinking as much beer on the weekends, that would probably help too.
I mean, beer
but I
does
don't
that
think
too.
Christmas is going to be the end of that. Yeah.
You're right. Can't relate. You just gotta be lean like
fasting's not been that bad. Yeah, well, you don't fucking do anything, mate. You've got
Oh!
metabolic health of a fucking brick wall.
Oh, he just doesn't do anything. Oh! How rude.
Yeah, but you don't. You gotta lift weights, mate. Gotta get you on the grind set.
Yeah, one day.
Become a Sigma male. Yeah, for sure.
One day. I don't mind being lean though. I prefer it that way.
Yeah, you can still be lean, but also a
Lean.
bit fucking stronger. It's not like you're gonna touch weights and just explode. You'll note everyone that does touch weights regularly all the time with the
never know.
intent of getting big isn't that big.
You might explode.
That's like
There's a small chance.
that's what
But it could happen.
it's white girl shit. Just be like, no, I don't want to get bulky. It's like, bro, I fucking wish I could get bulky. Like, that's all I'm trying to do over the last 7 years, and it's not happened. So I wouldn't worry about swinging a kettlebell.
No, it's not like that. I don't think, I'll pick up a
just good
weight
for you.
and then I'll do it forever and then I'll get bulky. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just content.
If
That's
you
all.
inject yourself with inhuman amounts of testosterone, you will. But that's a little bit of a no-no in the eyes of the law.
Yes.
So you have a list for us today to go through.
Yeah, more of a look back at what has been achieved this year for Dugite Media, seeing as this is the first year we started.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, officially released stuff, that is.
Yeah. Oh, fuck the rest of them. It's official as of this year only. Let's be real.
Yeah, pretty much, with like channels and social media sites, I guess, to a small extent. But yeah, mostly channels and podcast areas. Spotify, Google, Apple.
Yeah. So I've completely evacuated. I read over your list,
Yes.
but I have since then completely evacuated those thoughts from my mind, and my phone is out of reach because it's on charge.
Oh.
What would you like to go through, good sir?
Well, I have the list right here.
Oh,
And I was just
fucking,
thinking,
who would have thought, eh?
we have a brief look at like the amount of content we've made this year. We uploaded 36 videos on YouTube. We got some decent views on drone reels
Yeah.
and gaming content. Like just the small achievements. In total,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had about, as of right now, 57 videos. That includes all the shorts as well that we uploaded throughout the year. This is just for YouTube. Spotify, not necessarily be similar, but obviously it has all the podcast content plus a few extras. So it's about 20 or 30 episodes there. And then that's the same across Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, assuming that you were still uploading to them.
I'm assuming that it's still uploading to them.
Yeah.
That's how the RSS feed works, is you just bang it in the Spotify and it should all just flow out naturally. Although I don't have an Apple device, and iTunes is a pain in the ass. So I actually don't know. I haven't checked. I just assumed it's been working.
But yeah, on average, I think, we've achieved more than one video a week, even though we started, I think, in April, late April, I believe. We started uploading content.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a fair few videos to put out in a year, I would say, like, for just starting off. Not doing a video a day or anything, but just between the two of us making stuff. When you put it into that perspective. Well, there's a fair bit of content that was made. To
solid effort.
Small successes, and no successes, but
yeah, especially because this isn't our actual job.
Yeah,
this is.
Yeah, but we kept at it. And we tried different things, so.
Yeah.
Did you have any things like when you were making content where you thought you would have done things differently, but you didn't end up doing it? That we might not have mentioned yet. We might have mentioned in previous podcasts, but yeah, if you go over that now. I can think of one that you had
for
one of our camping trips.
Oh, what was that?
One of our camping trips was going to play out a lot differently in terms of content production. That didn't really play out that way.
Yeah.
So that was, I wouldn't say, it could be a missed opportunity, but at the same time, it was like we thought we'd go one way, but it didn't go that way. So I thought we might go through some of the things that could have been, but it hasn't been.
Yeah, that was a big call on work-life balance, that one, and we didn't actually have a good plan. Well, I didn't have a good plan on how to implement it safely and still have everyone enjoy the trip, so it didn't pan out that we would do this major production. We just recorded scenic footage, turned into drone reels and things like that, and actually had a good time and got to, rather than constantly be worrying about, do we need shots, do we need to stop here, are we going to get moving shots a lot, we just got to go to the bakery and have a pie and have a bit of vanilla slice and talk shit over a coffee and
just enjoy ourselves.
The view and go and
be a bit more relaxed.
Yeah. Be actually present.
I do remember though,
in the environment, which is also
before we went on that trip, there was a we did have a few, you and me at least, had a few discussions on what you wanted to do. Like in the end, what was it gonna before we just cut it all together, cut doing it? What was it gonna be? Was it gonna be like a documentary or more comedy centric or more drone reel related?
Yeah, not
because I know you bounced a few ideas and you weren't certain, and at some point you wanted a script and stuff. But yeah, it never came to fruition. It would have been its own unique piece of content, that's for sure. I don't know if you still have
I sort of had
scripts or anything.
Well, it wasn't something that you could script. Yeah, I mean you could, but that wouldn't be organic. I kind of wanted it to be organic and just sort of document this journey, and then through the powers of editing and narration and framing and all that, then you could really jerry-rig an overall narrative afterwards. Think Mighty Car Mods.
Yes, I do remember you said you were inspired by. Is it RevZilla? Maybe.
Yeah, The Revzilla boys, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it was them because you sent me a few videos like, this is what I kind of want it to look like and stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool how they filmed that.
Yeah.
They obviously had a whole team behind them, but I'm like, yeah,
wouldn't
okay.
that be sick to make?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and it was that have a whole team behind you and have the time and the space to do it, and it's not your holiday, it's your actual job. Yeah, so there were some logistic things there. And, like, I think company-wise made a big call on that. Like, the circle of people that went certainly weren't all dedicated to the cause, because if it was just you and I, easy. We would be pigs in mud.
Yes.
Just working.
And we'd have all the time in the world. Well, not just that. We'd have all the patience in the world to just be like, all right, we want to film like that. Like, oh, it's not quite right. All right, we'll do it again. And you and me both understand because we're both in it together. But yeah, people who are just along for the ride, they might not see it that way. And, you know, like, that's not for everyone. Like, so in the end, that's just...
Yeah, the friction of having to... The friction of having to manage other people's emotions was going to be too much, so it sort of got called, and we got the content we did, which was still good content, but it wasn't this larger video.
Yeah,
it's not like I had a large tangible amount of work writing for that. Just like I'd watch Revzilla videos and like jot down some ideas and really like chew on the idea mentally, which arguably procrastination, but also kind of not. That was kind of how it would have to be done given the resources that we had access to with regards to equipment and cameramen and editing. Like, it couldn't be executed as a large production because we didn't have a large production's worth of stuff behind it. If it was going to be executed well, it would have to be organic and low friction, which required doing it in almost an improvisatory way, if that's a word. Yeah. But I still spent a lot of time mulling it over, leaving you to edit the podcast like a fucking madman, which, with the power of hindsight, was retarded, and we should have just focused on doing what was in front of us rather than trying to bite off more than we could chew here. And it's a little bit unfortunate that you ate the brunt of that workload, and it's unfortunate in hindsight, but like it was going to be a higher risk endeavor for the payoff, whereas just doing the podcast is work in, work out, or work in, product out. It's a pretty short timeline. It's pretty low risk because it's not that hard to do, not that hard to edit.
And as I've probably said before, as we refine it down to a very streamlined way of editing it.
Yeah, which is good.
I think I did have something else about that. I did mention that, like, we refine it down. Like, when I was editing the podcast, I was thinking of a bunch of different ways to make it unique, to make it, like, pop out. So this is, another thing that could have been but didn't happen. Like, I was thinking back when I did podcast 5, which was the one which had a lot of like pictures and stuff related to analog horror, because it was almost more documentary style, I guess, showing off like different analog horrors and stuff, and just anything else we talked about. But I was also thinking, like, later on, like, what if we had like little animations to like animate how we talked and stuff, make it a bit more comedic, lighthearted, some of the topics. Obviously, doing a whole podcast animation would take far too long, so not really feasible. But something that I thought would have been interesting. It'd probably work better in like a podcast short to promote it. But yeah, so that was something I was thinking about.
I'm sure there's an AI tool. I'm sure there's an AI tool that we could look into that would have that happen.
Yeah. But given like the time periods we were releasing them, it was probably it was far too ambitious. But because at that time we also didn't have any gaming content or drone reels at the time. I think I'd started working on them, but that was it. It was mostly the podcast we were focusing on. So it was like, how can I change it up and make it worthwhile for viewers? At least from the YouTube side of things. A lot of the things I'll discuss here is mostly for the YouTube side, because that's what I mostly was uploading to and dealing with. So there was a viewership, whereas like Spotify's more a listenership.
Yeah, and that's, as consumers, we came into this with different perspectives, because I've gotten into YouTube again this year, just being in the realm of content and all that. But like coming into it, you were much more of a YouTube consumer, and I was much more of a Spotify consumer. So we had different ideas about what it needed to be based on what we would expect to see on the platforms that we see content on.
Yes.
So that's been an interesting little push and pull between the two of us over the course of the year as to how we structure that and organize that.
Yeah, which is why I think like going forward, the way with the discussions we've had about what we want to do for the future Dugite Media is like giving, because the podcast was originally your idea, giving you the freedom to do what you see fit with it. And then there's no clash there, but we can obviously discuss things as you wish. And and it can go on separate channels, but then that allows you to hone in however you want to do Spotify and stuff going forward as well, because I'm pretty sure Spotify is only for like podcasts and stuff, isn't it? It doesn't do videos, or it does videos, but most people aren't there for watching.
Yeah,
videos.
it does. Yeah, it does the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fuck me up. Next question.
Still on the same topic sort of thing, with other like things that we changed as we went along, was we had our disagreements on doing, like, because we had a backlog of podcasts before we started uploading, and at one point you wanted to upload a bunch at once, and there was one point where you wanted to upload far more regularly than what we ended up doing for the rest of the year. So that was different as well. Would you like to elaborate on why you thought that and how your view changed, if you want to?
You're really fucking stubborn. That's how my view changed. No, well, look, my thought initially was that I didn't know how topical the podcast was going to be. So a lot of the stuff I listened to at the time is a little less evergreen and was a little more like boots on the ground, culture, society, gaming, that sort of like news topics almost, but just in non-news related circles.
Yep.
So I thought if we were going to be a bit like that, there's no point in having consistent uploads. Well, having consistent uploads right from the start, but having everything be 6 to 8 weeks behind in relevance. So that was my concern initially, and then we've not really made content that's directly relevant to things that are happening.
Yes, you did mention that.
Like week to week.
That's probably another missed opportunity as well, was having podcasts that discuss topics that were going on around the world, like at the present time. So yeah, that's something I forgot about, but I do remember having that discussion. Like, I get that, but all this backlog we made ended up serving, like, being able to produce a bit of content each week was how I saw it. But yeah, I guess I was pretty stubborn on that front in regards to that, because I was like, well, yeah, I think there should be a consistent amount of content. At least that's how we've gone about it this year. We intend to go about it a bit differently next year, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah. I still think you're demonstrably developmentally disabled for not like having such an aversion to uploading like 2 things in a week just so that there's a bit of a backlog. But I don't know, that must just be a personality difference, because I can't fathom why that would be something you would worry about, and you were like, it was so obvious to you that that's how it had to be, and it's so long ago I didn't really care to worry about exactly what that difference is, just to know it's there. And that's why it's good to do it with 2 people and do a project like this with somebody to keep you a bit in line. It's all very good to create
Have you thought
your own stuff, and have no one to answer to, but having a little bit of being able to clash with someone on ideas and having somebody that not always disagrees with you, but will want to hear a justification of why you want to do something one way, it tightens and sharpens your reasoning because you have to present it to somebody else who may not want to do it that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to have content-wise, and we just got to remember to be friends outside of that.
With many of the things,
just like, fuck you, and you're like, fuck you.
Many of the decisions I made, I did have justifications behind it. Like I at least I thought it was.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to do it this way because then we have nothing here, and maybe I didn't always get that across the best way ever. But I like whenever I thought of things, and I was like, I didn't disagree. When I disagreed with you on things, I always had a reason as to why. It wasn't just, no, I don't want to do that because I don't fucking like your opinion. It was never, it was never meant to be like that. But I was going to say as well.
Well, sometimes it turns into that because we like to talk shit. So that's always a danger too.
I was going to say as well.
Good fun.
Did you ever think how Dugite, at least for this year, would have turned out if we had just uploaded the backlog straight up sort of thing, or like most of it, and then been down a bunch of content for a bit?
I don't think.
Do you think we would have pushed ourselves more, or we just would have? It would have been more sporadical when uploads happen.
No, I think we would have tended towards having a consistent schedule anyway. Would have found something to fill those gaps, because that was the goal that we set out to do. So I didn't see why we wouldn't be able to find in the realm of infinite choices. We wouldn't be able to find a way to push through it. That's the thing. Like, it's the sort of thing I've learned this year is with infinite choices in front of you, the trick is to just pick a goal and then do it. It's that simple. And so if we were going to be doing a piece of content a week or a piece of content a fortnight at least, and we had 4 podcasts ready to go, and then we put them all up rather than just putting one up and trickling them through, or we just have to record more podcasts. And we would have been... I don't know if we would have been significantly better faster, but it just means that we'd done more podcasts. It's not like... I don't think the consumer would have been upset that we had just chucked up a bunch of them. Because, like, I've never, ever, not once in my entire existence, been with a podcast from episode 1. It's always like episode 1000 or episode 200 or something like.
Yeah, when they've
so
reached
it
their
wasn't
popularity.
really a concern for me.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. We do have differing views. It does make this interesting.
But also, having that buffer there allowed us to lean on the life side of work-life balance later. So we still had... Yeah, so that bought us some time when we needed it to not do podcasts for a little bit there. And then we started playing what felt like catch-up initially, but now is just kind of like the rhythm of we record it, it gets uploaded. We're never that far ahead, but it's a comfortable spot to be.
There were a couple times like...
Felt uncomfortable at first because we were like...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, you go.
Oh, okay. There were a couple times later on in the year where I was like, we have nothing to upload this week, and in my head, I'm intending to be consistent, at least for this year, until we change up how we do things next year. And like I asked you, and you're like, oh, well, we don't have anything. But then I'd just pull like 1 or 2 videos that I had lying around out of my ass, or I'd edit stuff forward, and then things would get shifted around. A few things, especially later on in this year, the last like 3 months, got reshifted around and released early, and other things got pushed back.
Yeah.
So that it all fell together. And for the most part, the podcasts were every 2 weeks. But then the last few have been, I think they were 3 weeks in a row. And this last one will come out 2 weeks after the last one.
Yeah.
So yeah, things change, but things will change in the new year too for Dugite Media.
Yeah, we started out with consistency as the only goal, just as a point of discipline for ourselves, I think. But the further we get into this, the more we're tending towards the content comes out when it's ready.
Yes.
Because like we've sort of proven to ourselves, well, you probably more than me, but we've proven to ourselves that we are capable of
working on
producing to a schedule
and a schedule
to a
deadline.
deadline. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why we felt we needed to prove that to ourselves, but we have, and so now it's about the content quality, and like as we attempt to move away from the consistency strategy and more towards that we need to find something that'll actually gain traction in the algorithm, and like we want to get something that'll get a bit more of a foothold than we have so far.
Yeah.
And the path through that isn't consistent uploads, it is better uploads.
Quality. Yes. I do concur.
Yes. That's good, because otherwise I'd have to stab you repeatedly.
On a few smaller notes as well. With the gaming content, to some, if they've watched all the gaming videos we have so far. Originally, I was gonna do them all as like highlight reels of the footage, but with the Binding of Isaac videos, they took a long time to produce. I was very happy with them, but they do take a long time. So in the end, the compromises, and this is what's going to happen going forward with gaming videos, is there'll be a playthrough, and then there'll be the highlight reels from the playthrough. So you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I intend to do it. So you can watch the full playthrough if that's what you like. And then you can watch the memery and all the highlights from the playthrough. So with all the added jokes and stuff. If that's what you like. If you like shit posts.
Yeah, those added jokes are fun.
Some people find it hilarious. I find that shit hilarious. But that takes a lot longer to make. Whereas the playthroughs aren't.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to see the full gameplay.
I enjoy the
and commentary.
Enjoy the callous sense of humor. Or it's just like so it's I don't know if it's ironic or if it's just so cringe it's abrasive to watch, but I can't look away. I love it so much. It's just fucking fun and silly.
Yes.
And it's so much fun to do, because life can be so serious, and yet
it is dumb fun.
Just the dumbest shit is
but it's very
still the best. Yeah.
And aside from that, the drone reels are exactly how I envision them. Like, I wouldn't change anything about them. I don't know about how you feel about that, but yeah. And
no, I think some exactly what I envisaged too.
Yeah, I think some of the viewership kind of proves that, like, wow, that is a concept that works, and it's something we thought of back before we started releasing content this year. That's the nature-y Dugite media avenue we're going to go down, like video footage wise, is show off like parts of Australia and stuff like that. And
yeah, and look, it's not like I had the idea completely originally. Like, there are creators out there that do that sort of thing, but I was interested in we might as well do that, because we like to go out and do stuff, give ourselves some tasks to do, and once we've established a little bit of a creative voice for ourselves, I'm sure we'll do something unique, which appears to be what we're doing. So that's good.
Yep. So, on another topic, what have you learned from 2023, whether that be through Dugite Media or otherwise? Like, just what improvements have you made in your life?
I've gotten back into music, which is huge. It's a big thing to do, because it was a big part of my life for half a decade. It was zero part of my life for half a decade. Now I'm like, why wasn't I doing this the whole time? I could be so fucking good right now if I just started 5 years ago.
But you started different
so much of my life is that.
Compared to when you first did music.
Yeah, I was playing brass instruments, which is it's nice, but like, you can't play metal on a trumpet. You kind of need a guitar to play metal on. And oh boy, is that fun.
Nice.
A big lesson within that I found is If you know, bet on yourself. If you know you're going to get into it, get good equipment up front. So then you don't just have to upgrade in 2 months' time when you're like, ugh, I've outgrown this beginner stuff. Life's short. Just take the fucking spend on the chin.
Enjoy yourself.
What's the quote?
I don't know.
Yeah, or just like invest a little bit. You are at the end of the day, you, the human, are the asset. So
yeah, get a taste for it, and then just if you like it, just go hard. Just fucking commit.
Why not? Just like cocaine and gambling, just double down every time.
Yep.
It can only go well.
Can only lose all your money. Anyway.
Yeah. And then some. No, I've dabbled in editing, not as much as you, but it's something that I'm getting better at as we progress.
That's my major skill probably this year. Is getting for me. I'd done editing before, but I've gotten right back into it. And with Adobe Premiere, I'd never used that till this year. And it's been great learning heaps of new shit with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a skill I feel like I'll ever have to push myself on. I have enough of a day job already and enough things to do I don't need to get into the weeds of editing without, because like the drone reels or the podcasts, so it's actually not heavily, it's not immensely difficult, so any little bits and pieces I'll pick up, and I know it's not like I'm avoiding learning. I'll learn new stuff, but I'm not like, this is something I'm going to do for 1 hour a day, every day of the week, and really progress my skill set on. I have other of those.
And I definitely don't treat it like that either. But like, mostly for this year, I've been handed most of the content, and I did the editing, so I learned the most from it.
Yeah.
But like with things like the podcast, like later on for the last few podcasts, 5 or so, you've been doing them because we've streamlined it down, so it's easy for you to do the more simple edits for it. So it works out well because now we balance the workload that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get
it just saves you from having to do like 2 hours of editing.
Yeah.
Hour or two of editing a bit, and there's like all the bullshit around the descriptions and things like that. I like our workflow for that now that it's all going through me, and I should probably even be uploading it to YouTube myself. But we'll see how that goes during the new year.
Yeah.
Because then like it's just something that you have to turn up, record it, and then you don't have to think.
Yeah. I mean, that's just another thing as well, like running Dugite Media, like things like that is just other things we've learned or thought about. Yeah. When it comes to wanting to make good quality. Also, we're even working to a deadline this year. And and then just how we manage it together. Like I've handed the podcast over to you now. That was originally like your thing you wanted to create. I guess the drone reels are as well, but I've made that concept come to life, and then the gaming stuff's more my concept. So I work on both of those ones.
Yeah. Well, you paid for the drone, and I didn't want to try and take your toy away from you. So I was like, I'll just let him do it. And then you just took that chalice took that torch and ran with it.
Yes.
You're like, oh, it's all done. I've done them for the rest of the year. I'm like, okay. I guess I won it then.
Yeah, but
and then everyone's like, you never do anything.
Well, now we can go into the point of like next year, like we've discussed with the drone reels, like we want that to be a collaborative process. Like I've discussed with you, because of all the music you've been learning, it'd be cool if you did some of the music for it going forward. And so we can still go and see and do all the drone footage together. I'll edit it, you can make music, and we can merge that together, and it can be both our works. Yeah. So we both have a collaborative like project within Dugite Media, and also our own like single ones. Like you can be looking after the podcast, and I can be looking after gaming content, but we all still record it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a much more symmetrical way of organizing the bullshit, for sure.
Yeah, and just splitting it nicely amongst each other, and especially like utilizing our set of skills to the best in the best areas, I reckon.
Yeah.
I would say on a smaller note, in terms of other things we've learned, like sound and audio design and production, we've done well. You might have done more than me. I've done a little bit in Premiere Pro, like I've learned a little bit, but yeah,
A little bit.
and maybe a little bit of graphical design, at least with the thumbnails. Very small.
Yeah, that's certainly more at the start. That's not that hard.
Yeah, but we didn't have we didn't have
As-
thumbnails directly at the start. I don't think at all. So
No.
yeah,
Good software makes all the difference. Intuitive software makes all the difference for these sorts of things.
So, going 2024, what can we expect?
Grouse content. No, there is gonna be more.
There's going to be more.
Mayhaps even a titillating secret project. But
Yes.
we'll see.
Yeah, I think it should just be a secret for now.
Hopefully that's
some
for
things we just
2024.
don't want to release yet.
Yeah.
Or reveal too much about.
Yeah,
But
it's
as-
so secret we haven't even filmed it or agreed what it is, but
We don't even know what it is.
it's nothing. Yeah, could be anything.
But as we've already been discussing, like, I would say, like, podcasts and drone reels and gaming are all going to kind of stay, and they'll come out at their own pace going forward into next year. And
Yeah.
because we want to focus more on quality going forward than just here's an upload each week to entertain people. So
Probably can't hurt to keep the podcast going one a fortnight, but
yeah,
I guess we'll see.
But let's
I don't wanna
not
commit to
let's
it
not
just in
hold
case there's
anything
other things.
to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, so things will be done a little bit differently, and like in the coming months as we go on. Not necessarily a rebrand, but the way we upload and when it's uploaded will change going forward.
Yeah, should be good.
Yeah, as we see fit.
Better for everyone involved, for the audience and for us.
Yeah. Is there anything else
I'm excited, man.
you'd like to add to that? Any other?
No, I'm ready for the new year. Don't get sunburnt. That's what I'd like to tell everyone.
Yeah, don't sit in the sun
That
for an
fucking
hour,
sucks, donkey balls.
especially in Australia. Bad shirt.
That was tough.
You turn into a tomato.
I thought I had a bit more of a solar callus than that, but I was sadly mistaken. I was putrid red.
Nice.
My nipples hurt today from that. Yeah, it's not nice. Fucking, yeah.
That's shit house.
My skin has been crunchy. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, sir. Was that the list?
That was the list,
yeah.
unless you've got anything else you want to add or tease at all. I think we covered our
No,
look
not
back,
really.
which, yeah, I think it's been pretty interesting. We've learned a lot of things, and I think that's the best thing we can take
Yeah.
away from it.
I'm excited, looking forward to. Should be fun.
We didn't kill each other, so we can work together all right, I guess.
No. I feel like we could push it a little harder though. I feel like we can come closer to killing each other and it'd still be okay.
Yeah, probably. That's when the best content
Assassination
comes out.
attempt 2024.
We almost fucking
Yeah.
murder each other, like, yeah, and then we just pop off. It's like, you're a fucking piece of shit,
Hell yeah. That's what it'll take.
Yeah. The breaking
Get
of Dugite
Get on
Media.
drama alert.
The breaking.
Hell yeah.
All right. Merry Christmas,
All right, so-
everyone.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the new year.
We'll see you then for more podcasts, more content. So good.
Bye for now.